Hey, welcome. In this video, I'm going to be helping you connect to your soul's deepest purpose so that you can create a life for yourself that you are actually passionate and excited about living. This is such a foundational personal development topic because if you're someone who's struggling with motivating yourself, if you feel like you're trapped in laziness, in mediocrity, where you're just kind of going through the motions of your life and your life feels boring, mundane, and you know that there's something bigger that you want to be striving for, but you just don't have the willingness or the courage or just the motivation and the energy to actually go after it. The main thing you're probably missing is a deep connection to your passion. And that's what I'm going to be helping you hone in this video here. Now, when I coach clients, I've been a life coach for about a year and a half now. The main thing that I focus on when I'm trying to help someone create an amazing life for themselves, the main thing that we focus on for the entire time that we work together is, what are you passionate about? What is your life purpose? What makes you feel excited? What makes you feel connected to God? What makes you feel connected to reality? What makes you feel like a little kid? What makes your heart sing? What makes you feel pumped up with energy? Right? Many different people have different life purposes. Some people get really, really excited when they're able to explore nature. That's like me. Some people get really, really excited when they're playing basketball. Some people get really excited and passionate about driving Formula One race cars. Some people are excited about creating digital art. Some people are excited about singing. Some people are excited about dancing. Whatever is that thing that lights up your soul, that is the exact thing that you need to connect deeply to on a daily basis. Because this is like the fuel that actually allows you to achieve great things in your life. If you want to make a lot of money, if you want to feel like you're contributing a positive thing to the world and you're actually helping other people in their lives be more happy and more fulfilled, if you want to feel like you're living a meaningful life where you're actually waking up in the morning and you're excited to get to work on your dream project, then it's very important that you're aligned to something that you're actually passionate about, because this is like raw energy. This is the fuel that you need to work hard, to be consistent, to go out of your comfort zone, and to be courageous to do things that you wouldn't normally do. You see, many people have a lot of trouble motivating themselves to get to work or to do homework for university or to go the extra mile at their job. The reason why you struggle with motivation is because the thing you're pursuing has no energy behind it. It's not a path that is heartful. It's not something that excites you. It's not something that you're genuinely and authentically motivated towards. So, if you want to be a great person, if you don't want to be mediocre and just be like a sheep who's just following the herd, just following the trends and spending your whole time watching TV and YouTube videos and just doing some mediocre work for some boss that you're not passionate about, you don't really care about. If you want to be a great person, if you want to be someone that other people look up to, if you want to be a leader that inspires other people, it's imperative that you connect to your deepest passion, that thing that excites you. because that's the raw motivation. And first of all, this will make your life so much more enjoyable. If you just want to live a happy and fulfilled life, you need to strategically design your life consciously in a way so that you can set yourself up to do what you're passionate about on a daily basis. And this usually has to do with creating some kind of business or career around your passion. This is something that took me over 5 years to do for myself. And now that I've done that, where I make YouTube videos, I coach people, and that's what pays my bills, now my life, I feel like I'm in alignment with what my soul actually wants. I feel like I'm able to push myself to my highest potential. I feel like I'm able to utilize my natural strengths and talents, and I'm able to actually do something that I'm genuinely interested in every single day. I have the creative freedom to make any video that I want, to share any idea, any topic that I want with people. And that's something that I wouldn't have unless I set myself up to, first of all, discover what I'm passionate about, to hone it, to build the skills that I need, the business skills, the marketing skills, the speaking skills, the mental understanding that I need to actually do what I'm passionate about for a living. This is one of the most rewarding things that you can do in your personal development and your spirituality journey. This is really a very spiritual thing. So if you're someone who's interested in raising your consciousness or connecting deeply to the universe and exploring higher states of consciousness, really the launching point, that the foundation that you need, is to know what you're passionate about. See, every single person has a kind of soul blueprint, you can say. And this blueprint is constantly evolving and changing. So when I was younger, I was very, very, very passionate about nature and about learning about biology, learning about animals and plants, and just seeing how that all works. Learning about the cells in that. That was something that inspired me and was so motivating for me. And then as I got older, I got really interested in personal development and spirituality, and just understanding how the mind works, understanding how energy works, how the soul works. And as I got even older, I was more interested in coaching people and helping other people to learn about how reality works, to understand reality at the deepest levels, and to use that in a way that helps them be happy. So the point here is that your soul's blueprint naturally will evolve and change over time, and the way you know what path to take in your life is by following the feeling in your heart. So whatever excites you the most, whatever makes you feel the most abundant, like nothing can stop you. You just feel pure joy and bliss and love. That's the path that you want to take in your life, because the universe communicates to you through your feelings. This is something that's very, very important to understand. I talked about this in my last video, how to fully unlock your intuition. Many people are afraid that if they go after what they're passionate about, then somehow it won't work out for them. It won't work out in a way that allows them to survive practically. It's too unrealistic. Other people won't be interested in their creative gift that they're sharing. Other people will think that they're crazy. It just won't work. if you are genuinely passionate and excited about something, and then when you do that thing, it puts you in the flow state where time passes like once, like 10 minutes will pass in 1 second. Something that makes you feel connected and engaged with the present moment, something you're interested in. You're so interested that it's like you merge and become one with the object or the activity that you're doing or creating. If that is the way you feel about this thing that you're passionate about, then it is guaranteed to work. Because this thing, regardless of what it is, it could be something stupid like collecting bottle caps, something that seems pointless. But if this really lights up your heart and makes you feel excited and passionate, then that is actually the universe sending you a signal telling you that this path will work for you. This path will help you to utilize your natural strengths and talents and interests in the most optimal way so that you can contribute the most value to society. And whatever path allows you to contribute the most value, the most genuine value to society, that is what will make you the most money. Now, what is value? That's an interesting question. A lot of business people will talk about give value to your audience. Oh, there's so much value here. If you got value from this video, then leave it a like and subscribe. But what actually is value? Value is how you make the other person feel. If you are speaking or writing or drawing or doing whatever activity it is that lights up your heart, but it's something that you're passionate about. It could be Olympic diving. There's literally an infinite way that God expresses its passion and interest and love for life. So whatever specific niche that you get the most out of, that you are most connected to in your heart, that makes you feel like a child, that is the vehicle through which you will offer the most value to other people. So like, for example, in the 2010 Vancouver Olympic Games, I remember Alexandre Bilodeau won like a couple gold medals for Canada. And I remember because he was skiing moguls. I remember he was doing downhill skiing for moguls. And when I was 10 years old, I was so inspired by the way this guy was skiing downhill on the moguls, and he did this backflip that ended up winning Canada the gold medal. And for me, that was so inspiring. And I don't really care about skiing moguls. That's not something that inspires me or that I'm particularly passionate about. But since Alexandre Bilodeau, since that was his passion, that was his life purpose, something that he loved so much, I got that energy off of him. It was an energetic transmission. I received his love and passion and dedication to his art, his craft, his sport, that actually filled me up with inspiration. Many people feel this about Kobe Bryant. When I watch Kobe Bryant play basketball, I don't really care about basketball. I don't really watch basketball. But when I see Kobe Bryant play, I see an artist. And that is inspiring for me. That provides me value. So if you can set yourself up in the path that you can perform at your best, where you can utilize your natural gifts and talents. And the way you do that is by finding something that interests you the most. Always go after what you're interested in. It doesn't matter if it seems like it will make practical sense. It doesn't matter like what you think you should be interested in, or what your university's telling you should be interested in, or what your parents want you to be interested in, or what I tell you that you should be interested in. It doesn't matter what you think about you should be pursuing in your life. All that matters is how do you feel when you pursue this path. If you feel excited about reading a certain book, maybe it's a fiction book. Maybe you go to the bookstore, you see a fiction book, and you get super excited about reading it. It might be a sci-fi fantasy novel. And you might say, oh, well, I don't have time to read that. I should be going to the personal development section. I should be taking out books about business. I should be taking out books about philosophy. But if that doesn't interest you and what really excites you is this sci-fi novel, then you should follow that. Following your heart feeling, whatever gets you excited, is what will lead you to living the most happy and fulfilled life. It will help you make the most money. It'll also help you break through obstacles of laziness and lack of motivation. So in order to be great, like Kobe Bryant, or like Leonardo da Vinci, or like Picasso, if you want to be a great human being, where you contribute something great to the world, then that requires a lot of work. That requires practice. That requires thousands of hours investing into your craft. How are you going to invest tens of thousands of hours that are required to be great? And once you become a master in your craft, regardless of what it is, could be cooking, could be giving speeches, it could be taking care of children, whatever you're most passionate about. If you invest 10,000 hours in that and you become a master, there's no way in hell that you're going to have any problem at all making money. When you become the best of the best in your area or your field, money is not an issue anymore because you're the best. You can charge the highest prices because you're the best at what you do. There's no one else like you that compares. You get into your own category. You don't have to worry about competing with other people in your niche, in your market, because you're the best. You can always charge the highest prices. And the only way you can be motivated to go after some specific field or some specific activity for a long period of time is if you're genuinely passionate about it. And really think about, like, there's really no other alternative way to live your life. See, especially in the 21st century in Europe and in North America, in first world countries, people are no longer satisfied with just going to work for the boss and just following instructions and then coming home and just living a mediocre life, watching TV, raising a family, maybe going on vacation once every few years, and then that's your entire life. You retire when you're 65. People aren't interested in working a slave labor job where they're not interested in what they're doing. They're just doing it just to pay the bills. See, nowadays, people want to do work that inspires them. People want to do work where they have creative freedom, where they can actually witness the unfolding of their deepest potentials. They can actually realize how amazing a human being can be, and they can actually embody that. They can constantly be pushing their edge creatively. Not just doing the same menial slave work over and over and over again, but actually doing something that they're passionate about. This is really the only way that you're going to live a satisfying and fulfilling life, and this is really the foundation for spiritual growth. So if you want to become spiritually enlightened, if you want to realize God consciousness and experience really high states of love and peace and bliss, where you feel like your mind is like a supercomputer and you can You almost develop like telepathic abilities. I know this sounds a little bit airy-fairy, but I hope you realize that human beings, when they raise their consciousness, they can develop superhuman levels of intelligence where things like telepathy, and like super intelligence, even clairvoyance as well, like intuition, claircognizance, where you can just know the answer to things just by looking at something. You can see a person's entire life just by looking at the way that they walk. You can see into people and into situations. You can do that with really high levels of consciousness by practicing meditation, doing psychedelics, and mainly by living a passionate life. That's really the key that's going to allow you to unfold your soul's highest potential. And there's no other option. Otherwise, you're just going to live a very gray, mediocre life where we have this beautiful world here with nature. You can travel to all kinds of different countries. You can visit different cities, try different foods, listen to music, and see beautiful art from all over the world. There's so much that this world has to offer that it would require 1,000 lifetimes to drink it all in. But many people are stuck in working a job that doesn't allow them to make enough money to travel. And even when they are working, they're stuck 9 to 5 doing some work that they hate. So we don't want that. We want to do work that we love, that's connected to our heart. So how do we actually discover what our soul's purpose is? Now, guys, I wanted to actually tell you that it's a lot easier than it seems. See, many people will spend their entire, their whole youth, 10 years, asking themselves, what's my purpose? What am I passionate about? People spend 10 years just finding your passion. And then they don't take any action at all because they haven't found that perfect life purpose or that perfect passion. These questions that I'm going to share with you, if you take an hour or two to journal about them, they'll help get your mind thinking along the right direction. And if you journal about all these questions, then you're really going to get very clear about what your life purpose is. And then you can finally start taking action towards it instead of just waiting and waiting and waiting. The first question is, by the way, to do this journaling exercise, just find a place where you're alone. Maybe go to the park by yourself, bring a journal, and just write about all these questions and answer every single one of them all at once. Okay? This will kind of get you into a flow state where you're connecting to your heart and you're thinking about your life purpose. First question, what makes me feel childlike wonder and awe? What am I the most passionate about? If I had $10 million and only 10 years left to live, what would I do with my time? What would I create? What would I share with the world? What change do I want to make in other people's lives? How can I uplift other people? How am I a leader? Where do I want to lead others? What is my vision for the future of society? If I could redesign society, how would I do it? If I could redesign the education system or the marketing system or the the government, how would I do that? If I can redesign the way we structure communities, how would I do that? What's a dream project of mine that I've not allowed myself to pursue because it seemed too unrealistic? What makes my heart sing? When do I feel like I'm at my best? Exactly what is it that I'm doing when I feel like I'm at my very best? What activity am I doing? What people am I surrounded with? What environment am I in? What are 3 memories that I have where I felt fully alive? What 3 memories do I have where I felt creatively inspired? What do I want to see more of in the world? How can I make myself proud? What are my top 5 strengths? If you don't know this, I recommend taking the VIA Strengths Test by Martin Seligman. It's free. You find that, Google that on Google, and you'll find the test. Highly recommend discovering your top 5 strengths. What is my personality type? I recommend taking your Myers-Briggs on 16personalities.com. I also recommend doing your astrology birth chart as well on cafeastrology.com. Type in your date of birth, your time of birth, and your location of birth, and you'll get your astrology. Super helpful for discovering your life purpose. How do I want to help people? If money wasn't a problem, how would I spend my time? What would I create? What's a dream project of mine that I've been too afraid to pursue? If I could pour my heart and soul into a project or business, what qualities of mine would show up in the end result? What is the most noble way for me to live my life? What do I need to share with the world before I die? How can I set a positive example for other people? What does my soul long to do? What is my purpose for coming to Earth? If I didn't worry about what others think of me, how would I live my life differently? What would my life look like if I unleashed my full ambition? What is the highest possibility for my life? How can I live in alignment with my deepest passion? What does the universe want me to do with my life? What does my heart want me to do with my life? So those are a bunch of journaling questions. I recommend actually journaling about them. I've done that for many hours in my life. It's very, very important for helping you get clear about what your life purpose is. If you find overlapping answers, that's good. That is actually cluing you towards what your life purpose could be. Some other questions off the top of my head. What inspires you the most about life? What is your favorite thing to do that makes you feel like a child, right? So we're getting a little bit repetitive. That's on purpose because really we're just trying to help you connect to your soul. All right. Now that we have gone through all of these journaling questions, let's talk about some practical tips for how to hone your passion and how to hone your life purpose and stay connected with it long term. So once you kind of start triangulating your life purpose by answering all these questions and really feeling into your heart and answer these questions intuitively, not logically, but intuitively from your heart. Just write what comes down. What's your gut feeling? What is your gut? If I just follow my gut feeling, what business or path or creative project should I pursue? Now that we follow that, we want to really make it clear for ourselves. So what I want you to realize that life purpose is actually something spiritual. It's something that's connected to the universe. God wants to experience a certain quality or aspect of itself through you. That's what gives you that feeling of raw inspiration. It's your soul telling you, yes, let's do more of this. Yes, let's go down this path. This path will help me unfold the deepest. So you can get clear about what your life purpose is. You don't need to be perfectly crystal clear. We just want a general direction to head in. What's like the general vibe that you're getting from all of these questions? Don't worry about making it perfect. Just if you get all your answers have to do with spending time in nature or restructuring the education system or creating YouTube videos that help people connect more with their body, then good, just move in that direction. Now, some blockages that some people might have are worrying about copying other people. This was a big blockage that I had. Say, like, thinking like, oh, if I do YouTube, then I'll just be copying Adam, or I'll just be copying my other mentor or whatever person that I look up to. I don't want to just blindly copy my inspirations. Another question is, who are 5 people that inspire me, who I want to be like? Don't worry about copying other people. If you've incarnated in this time on Earth, the odds are you will probably enjoy being some type of social media creator, being creative in some way on some kind of social platform, because now is like the best time to get into that. So if your soul didn't want to be creative in some way, it probably wouldn't have incarnated into the 21st century where we can have full creative autonomy and create online businesses for ourselves from scratch. We can self-publish books. We can self-release music on social media. So don't worry about like doing what everyone else is doing. Just if it feels good, just do it. And don't worry about copying others. Also, don't worry about like practical concerns like okay, Adam, my life purpose is telling me that I want to restructure the education system, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know like the practical 1, 2, 3 step formula for how I'm going to restructure the education system. No one's ever done that before. That's all right. You don't need to know how, you just need to know what. Because with a strong enough what and why, the how will take care of itself. You just need to select your target, a target that excites you. And then the how, you'll figure it out as you go. Many times I have a vision, like I want to create a coaching program where I help people become coaches, or I help people awaken their consciousness. 3 years ago, I had that vision. I didn't know how to make a coaching program. I don't know how to coach people. I don't know how to make an online business. I don't know how to create a sales page. I didn't know how to start an email list. I didn't know any of that stuff. But since I had that vision and I stuck to that vision, the right teachers and books and resources appeared to me. And that's what allowed me to do that for myself. So now that we know in general gist of what your life purpose might be, now we want to think about how do we hone our skills involving this life purpose. So I'll give you some examples. Let's say my life purpose is to be a singer. I enjoy singing. Whenever I sing in front of millions of people, that's really what my soul wants. Okay. So how do I hone my singing skills? Well, you could hire a singing coach. You could buy a book about singing. You could join a singing club in a city near you. You can watch YouTube videos about singing. You could drill yourself. You can do 1 hour of singing drills every single day. And over time, that'll improve your singing. So when we think about your life purpose, we want to think about what are the skills that I'm going to need in order to achieve this life purpose. So the version of me that, let's say, starts an online coaching business talking about personal development and spirituality, 3 years ago I was thinking about doing that. Okay, so what skills does that future version of me have that the current version of me doesn't have? So for me, it was okay, I don't have enough YouTube video making skills. I don't know how to work a camera. I don't have camera skills. I don't have video production skills. I don't have editing skills. I don't have marketing skills. I'm going to need some technical online business skills. I'm going to need sales skills. I'm going to need coaching skills. I'm going to need a deeper understanding of personal development and spirituality. I'm going to need a deeper understanding of how reality works. I'm going to need more consciousness, more meditation skills. I'm going to need more experience with psychedelics. So I just listed about 12 skills that I needed in order to create the life purpose that I'm living today. Maybe I need more speaking skills as well. So now that I've come up with these 12 or 13 skills, for each skill, you want to go through them one by one and ask yourself, how can I build this skill? How can I hone it? So for speaking, I could practice whenever I get a good idea, I could practice explaining the idea. I do that. Sometimes I walk outside, I get a good idea, and I just start talking. I start explaining the idea. I could make one YouTube video every single week, which I've been doing relatively consistently. I could join some type of public speaking club like Toastmasters. I could visualize myself speaking. I can do speaking drills. I can practice speaking very loudly. I can practice speaking very quietly. I could work on speaking off the top of the dome. So those are some ways I can improve my speaking skills. How do I improve my online business skills? Well, maybe I can hire an online business coach who is in a position that I want to be in. Maybe I could buy a book about online business and read it. Maybe I can join an online forum about online business. Maybe I can join some kind of club or online mastermind about online business in my specific niche. Okay, so what about the next skill? Cameras. Okay, so how do I use a camera? How do I set up lights and a microphone? So what I've done is I could watch YouTube videos about it for 2 hours every week watch YouTube videos about camera equipment and how to use it. I could watch other YouTubers' videos to see how they set up their studio, and I can try emulating them. I could go to the camera store and ask questions to the clerk behind the desk about how do I use this thing. I could join some kind of photography or video making club. So what we've done is all of these skills that we've brainstormed, we've just come up with 3 or 4 practical, tangible action steps that you can actually put into your calendar to actually make progress towards your life purpose. So we've taken something abstract, like I want to help people grow themselves spiritually. I want to help people understand reality. That's a super vague life purpose. That's my life purpose. And now we've actually boiled that down into practical, tangible action steps. So that if I take action on these practical steps for the next 5 years, which I've done, then there's absolutely no way that I won't create the reality that I'm envisioning. So another amazing technique that will get you inspired if you're feeling lack of inspiration, because this project is a 5 or 10 year project. You might run out of motivation. There's going to be tons of suffering, and there's going to be tons of times where you're down in the dumps, or you have no motivation at all, where you feel ashamed and guilty. This will happen, and in those moments when you feel down in the dumps, to give yourself another kick of inspiration, I highly recommend doing this technique called scripting, where you just basically take a journal, give yourself some alone time, and you write, what is the highest possibility for my life? What is my ideal life scenario? What do I want to create in my life? And you write about that for an hour in vivid detail. I want you to use your imagination and actually imagine, what are all the opportunities that might go my way? Where would I live? Who would I meet? What would my friends be? What kind of art would I share with the world? All of the practical details. Where do I live? How does my house look? What is the weather like? What do I do on a daily basis? What does my average day look like? How does my schedule look? Those are so important to script. So write it out in vivid detail. That will help your heart and your mind to come into alignment, and you'll feel a lot of inspiration and motivation by doing this exercise. That'll help you to bust out of mediocrity. And if you just feel like lazy and lethargic and lacking motivation, scripting is very, very helpful. Helps you use your imagination and get some courage and motivation to remind yourself what you love, what you're passionate about, and then go after it. All right, guys. So this was how to discover and hone your soul's purpose. Just to review, I've given you many journaling questions. Journal about those. That will help you to discover your life purpose. I've also given you a lot of motivation for why discovering your life purpose is so important and how you really have no choice. And I've also given you some practical examples of how you can go 10 years into the future, visualize what is the reality that I want to create, who is the self that I need to embody to create that ideal reality, what skills does that self have that I currently don't have, and then what are 3 action steps for each skill that I could implement today that'll help me to kind of bridge that gap between the self I am now and the self that I want to be. Now, I'm going to leave you with an extremely powerful exercise. This is called the Pure Technique. I got this exercise from Frederick Dodson, and a lot of this stuff that I talked about in this video I got from Leo Gura and Seth Godin and like Gay Hendricks and Eben Pagan. So just like tons of people, Kwasi Johar as well, Aaron Doughty. Just a lot of these exercises I've just gotten from them. So I've been studying personal development for a very long time. I didn't make up all of this stuff, although I put my own flavor and spin on it, but I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. So thank you to all my mentors and stuff that showed me this information. The Pure Technique I got from Frederick Dodson from his book Parallel Universes of Self. I highly, highly, highly recommend purchasing and reading that book. I listened to the audiobook and I love it. Frederick Dodson, recently I've been really into his stuff. He's been changing my whole life. The Pure Technique will help you to shift into an alternative reality or an alternative timeline that will actually help you to embody your ideal self. I made a whole video about it over here. It's called This 3-Step Formula Will Help You Create Your Ideal Reality. Check that video out. Also, I have an announcement that recently I've opened up a couple spots in my one-on-one coaching program. If you're someone who is interested in personal development, spirituality, and you're someone who's been really, really passionate about self-actualization like me, you've been working on your diet, your exercise, you've been trying new spiritual techniques like yoga, meditation, you've been reading books, and you've really been growing yourself. Good for you. If you're that person and you finally feel like it's time for you to actually share all of this consciousness and wisdom that you've cultivated in your life, and you want to share it with other people in a way that actually helps them, and also in a way that is financially sustainable for you, then I've actually created a coaching program that shows you everything you need to know to get your first paying coaching client in the niche of personal development, spirituality, diet, health, nutrition, anything personal development related. If you want to coach other people to actually help them raise their consciousness and become the best version of themselves in a way that actually pays you extremely good money, you can make thousands of dollars per client. If that's something that interests you, then this is something that took me years to figure out how to do. Starting your own coaching business is not easy. There's a lot of things you need to know, like how to market yourself, how to find your niche, how to create content, how to build a relationship with your audience, how to book calls, how to sell when you're on the call, and then the actual skills. How do I actually coach someone? How do I actually create a transformation in somebody's life so that they rave about me and give me referral clients? Now, you do not need to have a huge social media following to become a full-time coach. I signed my first $2,000 coaching client when I was had only 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So that only took me about a year to create. And if I knew what I know now, it would only take me a couple months. So if that's something that interests you, then click that link in the description to book a free one-on-one clarity call with me, where I'll help you kind of get clear about what you could make a coaching business about, help you get clear about what your goals are, and I'll just get to know your situation, what's holding you back, what's blocking you, and we'll see if I can help you and create a coaching business from scratch for you. All right. Keep in mind, I do only have a couple spots available for this program because I can only work with so many people at once. I already have 2 spots filled up and I'm looking for 3 more people. So if that link in the description works, then that means that I do have a couple spots available. So take advantage of that now before the spots fill up. And otherwise, I hope this video was helpful for you, and I'll see you in the next one.